Alright, brand new week, brand new selection of games to talk about. And we have plenty. We got some good news, we got some bad news, you know, the norm. While I do have your guys' attention though, I do want to go ahead and preface this video real quick with two different things. First, Mrs. Stixie is going to be streaming some Genshin Impact over on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/MMOBite a few hours after this video goes live. So you're more than welcome to come on over and join us as we continue to make progress through the game. And with how popular Genshin Impact is right now, and with all of you guys enjoying it so much, I mean, it's the perfect opportunity to, right? Second, our last MMORPG giveaway just ended last week. We're going to go ahead and announce those over on our website, so make sure you navigate on over to our website if you want to see if you won. We'll have a brand new one up in place of the one that ended, a Christmas giveaway where you can win, again, any MMORPG or expansion that you want. WoW Shadowlands, Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, Guild Wars 2 expansions, the Elder Scrolls Online expansions, Black Desert, Ashes of Creation, whatever you want. But other than that, let's jump right into this week's weekly bite of MMORPG news. Genshin Impact launched recently, and with it has captivated the entire gaming scene. I don't think I have ever seen a cross-platform game like this reach the kind of global audience that Genshin Impact has, and that is honestly kinda cool. The game has averaged what, like 60,000 to 100,000 viewers every single day on Twitch, and has tens of millions of players all addicted to the game on PC, on mobile, and a few on PS4. Surprisingly, the Switch hasn't been shown any love yet, even though it's still highly anticipated. MiHoYo are currently in the process of working on their 1.1 update that will potentially bring with it a brand new region, new characters, and some alterations to the game, hopefully in the form of content. However, at the same time, they're also trying to deal with the various leaks going around and accusations that they're installing spyware, viruses, and looking into your private clipboard. I mean, I guess it comes with the territory, right? I've done a few videos on Gran Saga, one just a couple days ago actually. I, along with many players, was looking forward to this as it looked fantastic from the trailers. It was supposed to be Genshin Impact if Genshin Impact were in fact an MMO, as opposed to a cooperative multiplayer adventure game. With their recent closed beta, we got a brief glimpse into the game, and it wasn't looking promising at all. The game looks like a mobile game. We were completely misled when they claimed that it would be a next-gen cross-platform MMORPG. I don't think I have been this disappointed with the release of a game as I am with this. This could have been so damn good, but instead we get what is probably going to end up in the trash. Regardless, things could definitely change. This was a beta test after all, and they might take your feedback into consideration and improve the game. After many a delay, it turns out the brand new, well, I mean, it's new in terms of when it's actually being released, but this update has actually been planned since all the way back in 2019. But anyway, earlier this week, Black Desert Online took the Odalita region online after quite a few setbacks and delays. To enter the new region, you need to accept the level 60 quest titled Flower of the Burning Moon. There's a lot of new content to consume in the update and quite a bit to explore. Do note that this update pertains specifically to the PC version of the game, not the console version. The console version specifically, however, is obtaining access to the succession skill system, which may or may not be all that exciting for players, especially with the news that PC players got an entirely new region, right? Baldur's Gate 3 just rolled out into early access, and despite there being some negative reviews for the game posted online, the majority seem to be fairly positive, and I can see why. I actually have a more dedicated video on Baldur's Gate 3 coming up, probably next week sometime, but regardless, Mrs. Six and I streamed the game over on Twitch earlier this week, and we pushed through the first several hours of the game. It was brutal, it was grotesque, and it was an absolute blast. The amount of choice you had over your narrative, the sheer levels of control you had were very impressive. I'm aware that this isn't the first time this has been done. I'm a fan of the Divinity games as well, but to see the game portrayed so beautifully graphically is another thing altogether, especially when compared to other games in the genre. The turn-based combat was a lot of fun, exploring the world was a blast, and well, I mean, the story was just so disgustingly satisfying, if a little Michael Bay-ish. But then I like Michael Bay movies. They have explosions and distracting performances. It's worth noting that only a fraction of the game is currently available right now though, so if paying the full price for a barely built game is not acceptable to you, I would advise waiting. In what is perhaps the biggest MMO news drop of the entire year, Shadowlands has been delayed to an undisclosed time later this year. It's uncertain as to why it was delayed. Were they having too many issues on the PTR? Were they unhappy with the amount of content released? Did they overestimate how long things would take? Regardless of the reasoning behind the delay, the Shadowlands pre-patch is actually coming out on October 13th and brings with it all the changes Shadowlands would have brought. You know, with the exception of the Shadowlands content itself. New customization options, the new limited time Scourge invasion event, complete class overhauls, the addition and removal of certain content available in-game right now, such as the corrupted gear and mounts. This will definitely give us all something to do until Shadowlands comes out. Probably sometime next month or the month after, as we're going to have our levels completely rebalanced in anticipation of this expansion. Fans of Star Trek are no doubt going to enjoy this update that came out earlier this week. I've been told on multiple occasions to cover this info, so here I am. You guys can relax now. According to the devs, the brand new update features the continuation of the Year of the Klingon storyline, with players having to seek refuge on Nimbus with the Klingon captain Adat Pa. But the update isn't all that's new in the MMO. As well, yes, it does bring with it new content, an overhaul of old content, and new events. It also marks the release of the game onto the Epic Games Store. Granted, I'm honestly not sure how much good that will do, if anything, as for the most part, players who wanted to play the game were already playing it, and the Epic Games Store isn't really known to boost player numbers for games that are already playable via more popular platforms like Steam. This is actually a title that I had no idea of, but apparently the game is launched onto Steam earlier this month, and you know, granted, it might look aesthetically a little similar to a certain other popular game, but it seems to be its own game in its own right. This is not an MMO, but as you guys know, we also cover the occasional co-op game here, as Mrs. Six and I love playing through them both together and with our community. Drake Hollow is a new game that has a group of players team up to save a garden full of vegetables, like walking, talking vegetables. Yeah, so the premise of the game is a little, I don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and say peculiar here, but you get the freedom to build up and protect your new allies from eradication. My back is definitely going to be a little sore after this game. It looks like this week isn't so much about current games, but more so concerning games that we haven't necessarily heard about, right? Here is a brand new MMO, Star's End. This is a game that I have not really heard anything about. It's a survival MMO that has been in development for a while now, but that was pretty much all I knew. However, it turns out that the game has come far enough along that it's actually entered open beta as part of its brand new Update 41. The update brings with it entirely redesigned planet environments, along with the ability to display hundreds of terrain objects on screen at once with optimized performance. This is promising, as I'm guessing earlier in development they were highly limited by how much could be on screen at any given time, and as both a survival game and an MMO, cluttered screens are detrimental to the user experience. The game is currently available via Steam for around $15 for those of you that are interested in trying it out. In my opinion, I advise you to wait until it's much farther along before spending any money on it though. Honestly, I have never really covered Wakfu, not because it's a bad game, not because it's an unpopular game, but simply because I just don't really ever receive any news from neither the dev team nor informative emails or even players just messaging me with information regarding the game. Yet I repeatedly get requests to cover the game along with Dofus, so I guess I'll try and pay slightly more attention to the two of them moving forward. Today we're talking about their latest update, Agony Unchained. It features updates to existing classes, new floors for the Mineral Tower, along with the removal of the daily restrictions. Regardless of Wakfu's active player base numbers, it's worth noting that the devs announced that they would be merging the remaining servers together into two larger mega servers, with one server being specifically targeted towards the French players and the other for the rest of the international world. This is actually a little bit alarming, as we all know the reason behind server merges, right? Either way, there's no date in specific that's been given for the server merges, but I would wager a guess that it isn't really all that far off. I am not a fan of Magic Legends. Not only does the game look pretty poor in terms of actual gameplay, but my last news video where I included several seconds, only seconds of their trailer footage got removed for infringing on their copyright of a publicly released available gameplay trailer that had already been uploaded by tons of other channels already, which is the first time this had ever happened and the last. But here I am today talking about it again because, well, I mean, the game has been delayed. I know some of you were anticipating the game even after seeing the type of game it was, and thus I thought it was worth bringing the delay to your guys' attention. Earlier this year, Perfect World Entertainment announced that Magic Legends, which was originally revealed to be an MMO and afterwards had its MMO status revoked, would be launching in 2020 onto PC, with consoles getting the game sometime during 2021. Since then, it has been confirmed that the upcoming game is being delayed into spring 2021 to, in their words, deliver the highest quality Magic experience we possibly can. Their goal is to undergo additional closed alpha tests of the game to refine what was really holding the game back from meeting player expectation. It's interesting to note that the game is going into alpha testing though, as opposed to closed beta testing. It is also worth noting that we have no confirmation if this affects the PC release exclusively or if it will also affect the console launch of the game. For those of you that are currently unaware, ZeniMax Online Studios, the developer behind the Elder Scrolls Online, has been working on a brand new MMO for a little while now. They've been hiring additional talent for a brand new AAA MMO being built on a brand new engine, something that is much more current or even next gen than what we currently have for ESO. They've been hiring for well over a year now and are getting closer to revealing additional information pertaining to what specifically the game might end up being. And no, it is not a sequel to the Elder Scrolls Online. Or at least, I don't think it's a sequel to the Elder Scrolls Online. They did go on to mention that it's supposed to be a brand new IP, something they haven't done a game for in the past. It might potentially be a spin-off to the Elder Scrolls Online franchise, it might be a Fallout MMO, or it might be something completely original. They're looking for people that have experience making open world games and a narrative design that will contain both open world and linear spaces with both first and third person perspectives. And that's it. That is all of the MMO related news that has been brought to my attention over the course of the last 2 weeks. If you think there's anything I missed, then go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below. You can DM me via Twitter, via Instagram, via Facebook. You can let me know via Discord. Really, any platform that I'm on, you can send me a link to the information to the article, and if applicable, I will go ahead and include that in the next news video. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh.